All right, welcome to another day of Ether. Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're doing a rematch here against Eagle. Gonna try to get the win in here on this rematch. Yeah, let's get going. Don't have too many concerns here. I've been just looking at options in terms of countering Inaka. I feel like Hardy Baron is really the way to go. Even though Deflect Missile is quite strong. Hardy Baron gives you the opportunity to at least attack instead of getting hit 4 times in the face. Typically getting hit 4 times in the face just isn't that great, especially when the last hit is so powerful. So I feel like Hardy Baron is definitely the way to go, and I'm actually quite glad that I'm not seeing too much of it in some of these matches here, which actually allows me to use the Unaka team. If I was seeing way more Hardy Baron, I'd probably have to go Windsweep or something, which wouldn't be the greatest because I kind of need that B skill for traps. I've become so
time to finish the job.
I didn't have this problem before where I wasn't this dependent on traps or disarming traps previously. Usually I would go in with a gamble, but yeah, just the way that I think I was talking about this before, just the way that the game is set up right now with the range, the threat range of your opponents, it is just too much for you can't hit and run as successfully and still have space to avoid enemy counterattacks on that follow-up turn without the safety fence. So yeah, disarm trap has become imperative, I feel for AR. Also, I don't have pass there, which could potentially be a problem, which means I have to take out Larather, which is also a problem because of the ice. Did not calculate for that. I'm just going into this blind. But let's leave playing. Let's hope something works out. I kind of want to give this Plumeria guidance, and it would have to be guidance 4, which means I would need a copy of Tana. Or actually, nah, I'm not gonna try to pull a Camilla just to fodder her for guidance. Well, I guess you could get Trample as well.
What you need?
But this unit, she has a guaranteed follow-up, or was it a follow-up denial? I don't know, but I don't think that's a good idea. And then she would lose a lot of her defensive bulk as well. I'm not looking at the player phase with Plumeria. Yeah, I can try to find a better source for guidance 4, I think. Yeah, I'll look into that because what I'm trying to do is figure out a way to. Well, I'm trying to build some SD teams, some SDS teams, and this map, it's really not conducive, or it doesn't really facilitate frontliners or omni tanking. It's not really set up for that. I feel like it's really a flyer favored map, which makes sense for Camilla. But yeah, there's just not enough room for me to set up properly inside the area and then also have some type of support and everything that you would need to successfully have a frontliner. Primarily just it's having units in the box. There's a lot of water terrain, kind of blocks off, there's 3 water terrains that kind of block off. Is it 3? I think it is. Kind of block you off in terms of just putting units there that would support your frontliner. If those weren't there, then it would be a little bit easier to set up, but I feel like I'm setting up outside of the box, which isn't great because there's not a ton of threat range, and looking at the units that are available to, get in on me in terms of opponent, the opposing team, it's not the greatest to I feel use a frontline strategy on this particular map for SDS that's upcoming. Also, I feel like I'm throwing this kinda because of the terrain here. I feel like I've messed up quite a bit here. Yeah. Gullveig won't actually be able to warp to a spot that she can attack from, which is a big boo-boo on my part. I should have maybe this is one of those situations where waiting a turn would have actually worked out in my favor here because I'm essentially trapped now and I've already used so many actions, or the majority of my actions, that I don't think there's anything that I can do to recover here. I think this is try to escape and hope it works out, or not seeing it, man. I think I actually messed this one up.
Into the surf.
It sucks because I really wanted to win this one because it's a rematch, but I think I threw. There is one spot that I'm looking at potentially, but the ice is there. Essentially, what I would need to do to win this is take out both Sigurd and Felix. I'd have to leave Robin for last, but Sigurd and Felix cover like a ton of range, especially with Felix having that extra action and the silica ring. There's no way to avoid that. I could potentially try to avoid Sigurd, but not escaping Felix with the silica ring with this specific team. So okay, yeah, that's it. We've thrown GG's. I was hoping I'd be able to warp there, but I can't. Let's play another one. Okay, that went horribly, but we're taking on Synergy, I don't know, and we're going to use the same team. It's so easy to just go up and and bot people with Yunaka that I just don't want to bother trying to change anything. But yeah, that was unfortunate. Misplayed, which is quite common with this team since I don't put a lot of thought into my actions. But, you know, we can still get around to, you know, doing what we need to do to get out of here. This is a beautiful Gatry here. Fully invested. I was hoping to get some more copies for the years that I've had him, but I've only been able to get to +4, which is unfortunate. But his refine was decent enough. It doesn't look like it's going to last any longer. It's pretty much just a special jump, so it allows him to use either the defensive specials or the offensive specials, whichever one he wants to use. But his stats just aren't the greatest to run as a far savior, and near save is getting to that stage where literally nothing survives. So yeah, he's fallen off, at least for a game mode like AR. You gotta go with the most meta picks, it feels like, and he is just not it currently. He was it for a brief moment when Felix was the worst thing that we had to worry about, but that is no longer the case. If you're not running Rhea right now, you're pretty much not, you don't have a near save without Rhea. That's kind of where we are. But yeah, SD, don't know what to do about the map. It is kind of challenging to try to figure out who to position where. Really rough stuff. I feel like I gotta reconfigure all of my teams, especially because there's actually 2 new units this time that I gotta fit onto my teams to try to figure out who goes where. I kind of have an idea of where I'm gonna put Camilla, but then Erica, I don't know where she fits in on any of my teams actually, because they're all like, unless I make a brand new team just to put Erica on there, it's pointless to go into SDS without having Erica there, because that's like an automatic ban, and I would like to have that. And also, if I do get the opportunity to use her, she's busted. I was actually trying to play some matches against Erica teams, and it was really tough, because she can just sneak into spots that are like, you don't realize that you're exposed, but then you actually are. And then also, she's so powerful that she just does a ton of damage and nothing really survives if she has the right support. You can do it, but it's really challenging. So not quite sure what I'm going to do about it in terms of anything but banning her. I feel like that's the only solution. We're just going to have to ban Erica and not deal with her specifically. I feel like I can live with everything else but Erica. Camilla is also a big problem. Not quite sure what to do about that. Aside from, having a save that can survive against her. Maybe Shield Fighter. No, not really. Maybe Hardy Bearing on the save. Deflect Melee is probably what I'm going to end up doing for Camilla specifically. If I have a team with that on, I could maybe try to figure it out if the unit is fast enough. But Erica, I have no solutions for, aside from trying to run a frontliner with Might of Myriads. And even though I was, kind of correct with Might of Myriads being in rotation, it's not that helpful thus far because of the map. Yeah, the map just doesn't allow me to position my units properly or in a way that would give the frontliner as much support as they need. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my Sita team. It just doesn't feel like I can position it properly so that she doesn't get sniped. Well, not her specifically, but the units around her. And that's another problem as well, because I'm not going to be running near saves. It's just pointless to run near saves here. So, whoever the units that are going to be around Sita in that little bubble just won't be able to handle Erica. So automatically just means that Erica teams are just like a no-go. And then Camilla as well, because she's a flyer. So pretty much every terrain is like reachable for her once she lays down her terrain effect, the miasma. So it's a lose-lose in pretty much either situation. So those two are going to be automatic bans, unless someone is crazy enough to put both of them on one team. Then that's just one ban. But if you're smart and you're going into SDS with those two units, you definitely want to put them on separate teams so that you get to use your other two preferred teams all the time. That's what it's going to boil down to, and I imagine that's going to be some type of tree man plus Yunaka or Ling combination in the other two slots, and that's like GG's easy win. Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to be a great season. It's not going to be fun because of these two new additions that we've gotten. And for bans, it's like, I don't know if it's like intentional, like they wanted to force us to play against more tree man compositions, but it's going to be hard to avoid coming up against them. Like I said, you really don't want to be fighting either of them, Erica or Camilla. They're both really strong. Erica has plenty of threat range, especially if she has the Sigurd ring and she's on a cav line. Ooh, you don't want to deal with that on a cav line. That's pretty much an auto loss right there, because of all of the extra status effects that she'll get as well. So I don't know, I'm gonna keep practicing some more. I feel like I don't have any teams prepared at the moment, where going into it I thought I had at least 3, but that doesn't feel like the case anymore after a couple matches. GG's, let's play one more. Okay, we got Kawaii here, and yeah, we're gonna keep running the same team back. It's been doing work so far. No Hardy Bearing to stop us, to slow us down, so Yunaka is gonna keep on doing her thing. Gets to rectify that error that I made in the first match by not attacking with Gullveig. We're gonna resolve that right here. That was completely user error. I was completely at fault there. And also, I've, if you haven't noticed, updated the team. There's pass now on Gullveig, or it was there on the previous match, but I failed to mention it. But yeah, that's been fixed as well. This team is really good. I would love to get rid of Ash so that I could run Bridget again. But you just gotta do what you gotta do while you can. I don't know. I want to get Bridget back on one of these teams, but it's kind of hard to fit her in. So I don't know. Maybe I should have, because I had an extra team that doesn't have, as much support or a defined play style. So I might consider just scrapping that team altogether and just putting Bridget there. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, SD. I think I covered that. Gotta make some new teams. Don't know what to really put together, if I'm being honest, because the map is so flyer focused. You want range, and you want flyers pretty much, and there aren't that many flyers aside from Camilla. And then how do you really counter that unless you have like Vantage or something? Yeah, it's kind of hard to set that up. So. Well, not incredibly hard, but there is some challenge there. I think it's just gonna come down to banning Erica and Camilla, and then you're gonna be forced to fight Tree Man and Sakura compositions pretty much, which is not great. But at at the least, it's no longer erosion season, so your saves will actually be able to do something. Unless it's Shreeman, then you gotta figure it out somehow. But I don't know. We'll see what we do. Or at least I'll see what I do moving forward. I think I have like a fairly decent matchup in the 3-man comps if I run like the Sita team, because that's Fjorm and Fjorm can just do the job. But I don't know. It really depends on what the additional units are. I mean, of course, there's going to be Lin, but who else is going to be there, you know? And then how well is the opponent going to play? It's really kind of sucky when you're trying to practice in SD, your team, but then all the time it's just the same Camilla, Erica composition, and they all have their emblem rings equipped because, I mean, why else? Why not? But really, you're not going to be playing against that at all, so it's kind of sucky to practice against it. Although at the same time, if you're forced to, and you know, if there's other options that are more, you know, threatening to the team compositions that you've put together, I guess it's good to have the practice and know that you're always going to have the opportunity to practice against an Erica team, which makes it less. Practice just makes you more comfortable with dealing with it. So there's that. But I'm just gonna ban it. I have no intention of trying to figure it out. But yeah, that aside, what else is going on? Yeah, we're almost pretty much done here. I just gotta get rid of Medius here. It's gonna be really interesting to see what they give him for a refine and remix. Wasted a bunch of orbs, actually. I was trying to get some random fodder for Legendary Micaiah, which I ended up not needing after I realized that the SD map wasn't very favorable to infantry units that didn't have 3 movement. It's really a flyer focus map. I was trying to figure out how to get Micaiah in there to make her work. But without the Lin Ring, I mean, what am I going to even put the Lin Ring on? Well, it's going to be Yunaka. It's going to be Yunaka. So what do I do with that Micaiah, you know? So yeah, that was a waste of orbs. But I did get an extra Emblem Erica out of it, so I guess. And a Sigurd, which is so bizarre because I never get him. He never comes home. So I have Spear Momentum Fodder and Blue Skies, which I don't know exactly what to do with just yet. So I'm going to sit on that for now. I'm not going to merge it just yet. And, you know, see what units are looking to use that. I was initially thinking that, oh, is it Cavlock? I was thinking, I forgot what the restrictions were for Blue Sky. I was thinking of giving it to Tamara because I think it might be her best A skill. The XL isn't that great for her since movement wise, I feel like Blue Skies is just better overall. She wants the additional true damage that Blue Sky offers, so I think Tamara might be where I put that fodder if she is able to learn that particular skill. I don't know. I gotta double check, but that's what my thinking is. Nothing else going on. I think I'm gonna. I don't know. I gotta find a new show to watch. I just finished Unnamed Memory. It was one of those rare animes that actually had a good ending, but they ruined it because the storytelling, the adaptation, the direction. They cut out. I feel like they cut out a lot of the story with what they put into the anime, and it left me a bit confused sometimes. But I really did enjoy the story, and it ended satisfactorily, which was weird because it was bad.